The Winnipeg Jets win at home against the Dallas Stars. It's a shutout for Connor Hellebuyck and a rebound after an awful Game 4 and road trip in Dallas. Winnipeg has life in the series. I've always said it. I said it last game. I'll continue to say it for everyone on this channel, regardless of the series that's being played. Winning the fourth one is the hardest game to win because when you back a team against a corner, there's two choices: lay down and die or bite them. When you back an animal into a corner, they usually tend to bite. And when that animal is the President's Trophy winning Winnipeg Jets, they can bite pretty hard. This was the first game I've seen in this series where the Jets truly played fearless. They weren't playing not to lose. They were finally playing to win. The Dallas Stars on the road, I feel like this was their first game. They were playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. This will reset in Game 6 when Winnipeg goes to Dallas. They have a lot of narratives they're going to have to shake off, but this is a one game at a time league. This is a one game at a time series. This is a one shift at a time. This is a one habit at a time for both of these teams. So it will be a tense moment going back to Dallas for all the Dallas Stars players, as well as the Winnipeg Jets. And we got a ton to break down in this game. We're going to start with the goalies, Connor Hellebuyck and Jake Oettinger. Both played fantastic. And there's going to be a looming question, I think, after this series. Has Jake Oettinger played himself into the number one goalie in America? Well, let's go ahead. Let's break down this series. We'll pontificate on that closer to the end of the video. We have so many things to break down. We're going to talk about Ehlers. We're going to talk about Scheifele. We're going to talk about linesmen. We're going to talk about fights. We're going to talk about hits. We're going to talk about Ranton. We're going to show you goals. We got it all in this video, but everything starts with the goaltender here, specifically Jake Oettinger. Now, Otter here has killed the Jets, absolutely killed them everywhere down close near the blue paint. If you shoot anywhere in the bottom half of the net. Yes, I know Ehlers scored a goal there. We'll take a look at it, why that's the exception. But this puck comes out to the front here, and Dallas always does a good job of crashing the net, but Gabe Vilardi is one of the best NHL players in the league with his hands around his net here, and he is completely left alone in order to put that puck in the back of the net. Normally, this is a sure goal for the Jets. Beautiful save there by Oettinger. Now, one thing I'd like you to notice about Oettinger, and I have my team helping me find all of these things. The first person on the team is Coach Tony, my dad, guy that started it all when it comes to coaching for us. He saw it before I did, so credit goes there. You've got to score from this area on Oettinger, and you have to go high. So whether you're close or whether you're far, you cannot shoot down low. It's gone. You have to start finding these corners on Jake Oettinger, very similar to Jordan Binnington. Nothing is there down low. So in a play like this, almost no player is not going to try to jam it in, but there is another option. If they look at the tape, they may want to think about bouncing it out or calling for the puck out there. And if they can't do it because it's a high risk play, you got to start getting it up. Again, easier said than done in a moment like this, but you're going to see examples as this game goes on that are better than this one. Once again, looking at beautiful saves by Jake Oettinger. The penalty kill for Dallas is absolutely fire. Great zone entry here by Cole Perfetti. Buying ice as you come across. Brandon Tanev specifically buying ice as he cuts across here in order to stay onside. The aggressive diamond, the heavy forecheck of the Dallas PK, and that's what this is. The Jets are able to move in. They bump it to the right wall as Perfetti drives to the net. They find Sandberg up high. Sandberg's going to put it on the net, and Cole Perfetti is going to find a bouncing puck off Brandon Tanev. Tries to bat it out of the air, and once again, Jake Oettinger takes it away down low. And there's no opportunity to go up there. That's just one of those little funny bounces. But as the game started, these are huge momentum shifters for Dallas, and these are daggers if you're Winnipeg. So this is a nod to the Winnipeg Jets for getting through that first period where Oettinger took everything away. Every time he has done it in the series, the Jets have folded, and Dallas has found a way to score the first goal. So the Jets liked their game last game in the first two periods. They didn't score quick enough. Dallas got the momentum back on the back of Jake Oettinger. Winnipeg stayed with it today. They didn't get frustrated. They didn't get down on themselves. They got that ever important first goal that we'll talk about shortly, and they didn't let this break them. Oettinger is a very tough goalie to beat. Don't worry, we'll talk more about that stingy Dallas PK, but here is Nick Ehlers, arguably the best Jet tonight. Look as he cuts in. Nick Ehlers does two things really well this game. One, he shoots from all angles. He is chaos on skates. You never know what's going to happen when the puck's on his stick, but there's method to the madness. Watch him try to go high on Oettinger on this one, and look how far out he is when he cuts in and does it. Skates in, and you can see this is the perfect spot. He's finally looking high. Nobody's looking low. This is where you're going to beat him. They're very difficult places to place a puck, but you're an NHL player. We've seen it all series, and other teams just goes over it, gets a little bit of a piece of it, but you can see the wheels starting to turn for the Jets. One more better angle of it here, just so you get a better idea of what's there. There is maybe this much room about the square in order to get it in. The puck's right here above his shoulder. So Oettinger was able to get just a piece of it up there. It was a little bit of a knuckler from Ehlers. If you can get a hard, flat puck up there, nice little wrister snapper, it is open. Winnipeg tonight on the transition was so fast, so good at exiting the zone. And Jake Oettinger, once again, standing on his head. Lowry and Tanev, phenomenal play. Love seeing these two together. Tanev crashes the net. He was all over the Stars tonight, but one more big save from Oettinger. But now that we're done pumping the tires of Jake Oettinger, how about Connor Hellebuyck? When you get beat, and Morrissey and the Jets here, they get beat. When Mikko Rantanen or any one of the Finnish Mafia get through, you're going to be in trouble. Moves that puck down low. You see it's Thomas Harley who is snuck down low. He is known for doing that. But take a look at Connor Hellebuyck and the windmill save. He takes it away from him completely. Nothing for Sagan, nothing for Harley. And look at the time on the clock, 19:21. Most goals are scored in the first 3 minutes of a period and the last 3 minutes of a period. It's a real slog in between. Yes, there's obviously goals in there, but statistically, that's where the most goals come from because one, that's where the teams have the most energy. But two, it's where you can catch teams sleeping, and you need big saves like that if you want to stay in the series. Oettinger has done it for Dallas. We just saw the proof. Connor Hellebuyck finally wakes up, does it for Winnipeg there, because that could have easily swung this game in the wrong direction for the Jets and in the right direction for the Stars. Now, number one, Winnipeg doing its best Edmonton Oilers impersonation here. Wyatt Johnson walks in down low, and take a look at Connor Hellebuyck's stick. He's going to make a poke check here. Winnipeg was flying tonight in the transition game. And why do I say it's the best Edmonton impression? This is how Edmonton scores goals. When you turn over pucks in the D zone and you catch two guys down low like they just did there, especially when you're on your first line with a guy like Kyle Connor, you got to leave the zone and you got to be gone. And boom, they're gone. That transition, quick strike offense joined by Neil Pionk, arguably the second best Jet on the Jets tonight, next to Nick Ehlers. Phenomenal zone entry here. And defense, they do it just as good as offense. You cross that line, you're playing against the number one pair. It's Heiskanen, it's Harley, two of the better defensemen in the NHL, arguably one of the best, to some people, the best. And Neil Pionk has to drive the mid lane now and go to the net once he bumps it over here left to Kyle Connor. Who's on his bottom wing right now? It's Dylan Samberg. This is so strange if you're a forward right now. Samberg is playing in the F3 spot. So we have the F3 spot here, the F2 spot here, the F1 spot. And it's actually going to be Mark Scheifele that pulls up the D1 spot for the attack triangle. This is high IQ stuff. Guys are completely out of sorts. Mark Scheifele skates in, uses Samberg as a little bit of a screen to change the angle, takes a shot, gets a lucky bounce, and sometimes that's what you need to win series. But remember, luck is the product of hard work, and you were halfway through the second period, about 13 minutes, 44 seconds left at this point. It's 4-on-4. It's a poke check from Connor Hellebuyck. It's a quick strike zone transition from Kyle Connor. It's Neil Pionk and Dylan Samberg joining in that allows Mark Scheifele to get that lucky goal. With 55 seconds left in the second, Winnipeg gets a power play. There's Jake Oettinger down low again. Exactly like I said, down low doesn't count. There's Mark Scheifele punching it in the net. This one is waved off. But I need to give props out to the home crowd and to the peeps. Should have kicked it. Should have kicked it. I don't know where we come up with this stuff. but it's hilarious. It's entertaining. It sounded great on TV, especially on the Canadian broadcast because the announcers are actually in the building. Dallas fans, let me know down below in the comments if it's loud when you're listening. My understanding is the American announcers and broadcast are actually not in the arena it's broadcasting from. I could be totally wrong. You let me know down below in the comments. And Jets fans, Stars fans, hit like, hit subscribe while you're down there in the comments for me. It helps share this video, show some love. I get a lot of love from the hometown fans. I get a lot of love from the Stars fans. It's all good on this channel. I'm here to watch great hockey. I know the rest of you are too. We'll cover this game in Game 6, Game 7, if it is there. And while you're down there, just take a quick note. It's Coach Ryan D's birthday today. 39 years old. Old man coming at you in a basement talking hockey. 10 years of grinding to learn this trade. Not the YouTube trade, the hockey trade. 10,000 hours, 20,000 hours. Endless time to understand coaching, to share with you guys and my community. Throw a quick happy birthday. It helps spread the message of this video. The algorithm loves engagement like that. So I really appreciate having you guys all on it. Let's keep talking about the game though. As we get into period 3, 2 tripping calls. Unbelievable. I actually am shocked. I'm floored that 2 tripping calls were called. Were they trips? Sure. But why I'm floored is usually when you have a 5-on-4, they let those ones go. There are levels to this game. I don't think there should be. I think you just call everything and move on. But you know what? That's not playoff hockey. What I think doesn't matter. This is what happened. So this was an oddity. It's not a ripoff if you're Stars fans, but it's an oddity. I was very surprised it got called. It's the right call. It's just the playoffs. So it's a little bit shocking here. Here we have a 5-on-3. The rareness in the playoffs. What you are trying to do here is called a box +1. So here's your box. This is your +1, which is Mark Scheifele. You are trying to get your +1 into the middle of the ice. This is going to give you the best types of angles to attack this goalie. And Winnipeg is finally going to break the dam here with Nick Ehlers. Scheifele moves it wide and across. Ehlers steps in, goes down low. I apologize. Velarde steps in. Kyle Connor steps in. Scheifele to Connor. Down low to Ehlers. And Ehlers steps out for a short side jam. This is why I said this is the exception goal, though. He goes low, but he gets his stick so wide that he's able to just hug that post and sneak it in. This is one of those perfect shots. So unlike the Scheifele goal, which is an accident, this is an absolutely perfect. It's just perfect. And here you can see it. Otter's given him basically nothing, but that big reach around gives him just this exact corner to bank it in off the post. And I like that play because a 5-on-3, I don't think a goalie thinks you're going to take that shot. They know you're waiting for that perfect backdoor tape-to-tape pass where he's not in the net. So I thought that was a big brain play by Nick Ehlers. I thought Nick Ehlers was the best Jet on the ice today. I think Nick Ehlers has been the best Winnipeg Jet in this series. For a guy that has not shown up before in the playoffs or has a reputation for not, throw that in the garbage now. He's the Jets' leading goal scorer against Dallas. And he is our best forward right now against Dallas. Mark Scheifele is driving the play. Velarde looks a little bit snake bit. And dare I say it, I hate to say it, Kyle Connor has not looked good in this series. He has a job and a role. Every Jet did their job that night except Connor. And I hate to pick on him. You can see the jersey behind. So don't roast me too bad, Jets fans. His job is to score goals. He is the goal scorer on this line. He's been nothing but snake bit. He hasn't put the puck in the places he needs to put it at. But as this game got going, I started noticing something. I started noticing Kyle Connor starting to hit. I've never seen Kyle Connor throw hits before, but he was starting to get there. And I believe the reason he was starting to throw hits is because in this game plan, like I said, animals bite when they're backed into a corner. 52 hits were thrown by the Jets. And I noticed something else. I wasn't the first one to catch it either. So shout out to Storm, good buddy of mine that sent a text to my brother, came back in. And then we noticed it as the game was going into the third. And that's when the dam broke and the goals went in for the Winnipeg Jets. The Dallas Stars were starting to back off in this game. They got out hit. It hurt. And they were not attacking the puck like we have seen the Stars attack the puck for the first 4 games in this series. They gave the Jets space because the Jets took the space. The Winnipeg Jets are going to have to do that on the road and prove they can do that on the road. But I saw superstars backing away. I saw Rantanen backing away from pucks. I saw Robertson backing away from pucks. The only guy really in there, Jamie Benn was trying to spark something. Sagan tries to spark something. Hintz tries to spark something. But the rest of them, I actually saw them hesitating for half a second. And I do believe it is because of the hitting the Jets did. And I believe the transition game of the Jets killed them in terms of making them tired. It makes you exhausted to get hit. It's exhausted to play a transitioning game. And eventually, as it beats down on you and you get into a third period, teams can break. So good strategy by Winnipeg, but it will be very interesting to see if it holds on the road. The Namestnikov goal. Here's one of those big hits by Nino Niederreiter. He had a fantastic game. He has shown up. He's hitting hard. Hintz carries the puck down, and Hintz is a unit. Bang. Nice little hit. I know it doesn't look like much. Hintz is a big boy, but he felt that one. That allows Donnie Iafallo to step up, turn that puck over. He finds 91. Perfetti's had a really nice series so far. Back to Donnie, over to Iafallo, and he's going to hit Namestnikov. And it's when you dive, when you come down and you dive, and you're trying to move that puck across the Royal Road, it's never going to be good. Nice shot on net, big rebound. Dallas doesn't have an opportunity to set. It goes up to the point. The point moves it down to the half wall. Namestnikov is going to peel off into the top of your screen, to the top of the circle, and leave the puck for Iafallo down in the corner. And Dallas is just running around at this point in time. They're lost because of the left, right, high, low, east, west, north, south. They end up putting it over to Namestnikov in the slot, and look where he scores. Up high. Exactly where I said you have to beat Jake Ottinger. Exactly where my old man said. That's where it has to go in. Glove side. He gets down too low and you beat him. I hope the Jets scouting staff and players have figured that out. Everything must go up. The 2 goals they scored on Binnington in Game 7, up. Everything up. Over the shoulders. Don't waste your time down low. Go up if you're the Winnipeg Jets. Now let's talk about the physicality. Let's talk about Jamie Benn. Let's talk about Mark Scheifele. Let's talk about Neil Pionk and Wyatt Johnston. Neil Pionk is quickly becoming one of the best little shits in the NHL. This guy does more stick work, hand work, glove work, face washing work. You can call it cheap, you can call it dirty. He doesn't get called on it, and people don't take runs at this guy. I'm shocked nobody has tried to take his head off. He is incredibly tough. He is incredibly annoying to play against, and he has quietly become one of the best agitators in the game. I couldn't find the clip, but I think he spent half a minute there. It felt like it was probably 3 seconds, actually rubbing the mouth and nose of his second period glove all over Wyatt Johnston. Well, Johnston had no response. Later on in the game, it looked like Wyatt Johnston took down Neil Pionk. No way. Johnston gets tied up with Pionk. Pionk holds his leg, picks him up, looks like he is a Samoan in WWE, and goes to hit him with that Jacob Batu Samoan drop. Unreal. And all while making it look like it was Wyatt Johnston. He is an absolute A-plus agitator along the lines of a Corey Perry or a Brad Marchand, just in his own very special way. And stuff like that gets under the skin of players. It got under the skin of McDavid the year the Jets swept him. It's getting under the skin of Johnson. I don't know if they have enough time in the series to keep doing it, but it's interesting playoff hockey. Mark Scheifele, Jamie Benn, totally different scenario. Look at Scheifele here. Battle, battle, battle. Man's on one knee. Battle. Kyle Connor is there as the puck support. My issue with Connor has been just a lot of gliding. I don't know what he's waiting for. He's waiting for time and space. Kyle, you got to go make your own time and space. You need to support your teammates here. This is what I mean by I just don't think he had it. You could see he had a moment there where he could have taken the puck. We're on the screen still. He's not skating. He glides by. Look, little tap, and then he turns away. I don't know what that is. It isn't for me. It's not playoff hockey. Hopefully he rebounds from it. But take a look here. This is for me. Mark Scheifele has hit Jamie Benn like 4 times at this point. They end up next to the bench and they end up in a brouhaha. And here is actually one of the rare times I take issue with a linesman. I love linesmen. I think they're the best, but I take huge issue and exception to this. When players are in a fight or tussling, you break them up when you can do it safely. Safely means for the linesman and for the players themselves. Here at this point in time, through this tussle, and I can't move it, so you guys can go watch your own. If this moves, the NHL will flag it because it's a zoomed in shot. The linesman is basically allowing Mark to get ragdolled. Either let Mark defend himself, and he will. If he started it with Jamie Benn, he can finish it. Don't start something, don't finish nothing. Jamie Benn's a big customer, one of my favorites in the NHL, one of the toughest in the NHL. Mark Scheifele is trying to hold his own, and I feel unfairly the linesman is holding Scheifele back. I get he's trying to break them both up, but just get out of there. Just stop. Get out of there. Let him go at it. Let the referee assess a penalty. Scheifele goes down here, and I feel like it's an unsafe scenario. And look, because of it, Brandon Tanev has to jump in, and now look where the linesman is. He's in trouble. There's a player coming over the top. This is bananas. Just get out of there. And you can see as it continues to go, the linesman is still putting life and limb in the way to protect Scheifele, but I do not believe Scheifele would be in this kind of trouble if the linesman wasn't there. So they break it up. Tanev moves Benn. You know, you don't like that either, but he's protecting his teammate. I get it. Third man in. But it's this spot here that I don't like. He's holding Scheifele. He's not holding Benn. This isn't good to me because Scheifele can't get his gloves up. Look, bang. Why is the linesman holding him? And again, I'm not taking issue because it's a Jet, and I don't take issue with any of this in the playoffs. I'm probably one of the only analysts out here saying it's the playoffs. Suck it up, Buttercup. It's the way it goes. I just think you got to let the guys defend themselves. If Jamie Benn ragdolls Mark Scheifele, so be it. I think he would. I don't know, but if, I was a betting man, I'd bet on Benn in that fight. Let him go. I don't know why you got to be in there. Just let him fight it out. Let it be a clean fight like we saw between Hagee and Fredrickson with the Vegas Knights and the Oilers. You don't need to step into this stuff. I'm done my rant. That's the end of it. Scheifele wasn't hurt. Benn got a 10-minute misconduct. I don't think any of this needed to get to that spot. It probably should have been just 2 5s for fighting or 2 4s for roughing. Tanev wouldn't have come in and been the third guy. Back away from it. Normally, I don't have an issue with linesmen. They're heroes. I've said many times, heroes don't wear capes. They get in there without equipment. I just thought it was poor decision-making, and I don't see why you would line up a guy so he is defenseless. I actually do not take issue with Benn punching Scheifele here. Is it a cheap shot? Some people, sure. You let me know down below in the comments what you think about that, but I don't care about it. It's the playoffs. You're going to do whatever you have to do. You're going to punch, bite, claw, hook, scrap. It doesn't matter. It's the way it goes. I just think the guy's got to have a chance to defend himself on it. All right, so that's all I got for you today. The Jets take this one down. They outplay the Stars. All the Jets have to do is find a gear in Dallas. Every announcer and every analytics person is going to talk about what happens in 6 and 7 and the stats of a series being down 3-1. That's crap. The Jets aren't thinking about that. You shouldn't think about that as a fan. Stars shouldn't think about that as a team. Stars fans shouldn't think about that. You go shift by shift, game by game. This is a 1-game situation now. Win the shift, win the period, win the game. That's what the Jets need to be thinking of, and they have to go one level lower. Win the battle. They won the battles to the pucks tonight. The exception of Kyle Connor, every Jet won their battles to the pucks. The Stars got their licks in, but Connor stood on his head. This is what is going to have to happen. Connor is going to have to outduel Ottinger. He hasn't often enough in this series. Scheifele is going to have to outduel the top line. He's going to have to beat the Rantanen line with Hintz. The second line, Perfetti and Ehlers. I know it's the Namestnikov line, but Perfetti and Ehlers are the gold standard on that. They're going to have to beat either the Wyatt Johnston or the Tyler Seguin line. The Lowry line is going to have to take the other line there. Every player on the Jets is going to have to level up and win a battle against every player on Dallas, and they are a very talented team. Dallas is going to have to do the same thing against Winnipeg. They've shown they can do it when they're in their own building. They have ragdolled Winnipeg in their own building, but it starts with the first shift for Winnipeg, and it starts with the first battle. Kyle Connor's got to get going, and they need to bring this energy and this physicality to Dallas if they want to stay alive. They have to play like they have nothing to lose, and Dallas needs to play like they want to win. Okay, Stars fans, Jets fans, we'll catch you Saturday night. If you're in Canada, it's Hockey Night in Canada. Let me know, what's it called in the States? We have this thing called Hockey Night in Canada. I don't know if you guys do. It's just like a broadcast piece. But we'll see you guys Saturday night for Saturday Night Hockey.